how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, back again with another view from the van. I thought I'd do a quick reaction to yesterday's disappointment, the frustration, so many mixed emotions yesterday, but thought I'd do a quick reaction to what went on yesterday at St James's. 2-0 to Liverpool, gifted them 3 points and gifted them back into European contention. But what a day, like I touched on before there just then, mixed emotions. You know, Sir Bobby's birthday, all of his family there. You've got Christian Atsu and the tragic events that started being talked about yesterday morning. His family there, his kids there. Your heart goes out to them, it really does. And you're just thinking, take all of this, the minutes applause, the respect that was shown, all of that raw energy and emotion, and channel it into a performance under the floodlights against Liverpool and send the lads off in the best possible way. But fuck me, the first 5 minutes or so, 7 minutes or so, whatever it was, we started decently. We were pressing them back, where St Maximin looked up for it, we were knocking the ball out, we were creating chances. I was really encouraged, really positive. But then a mad quarter of an hour, we'll call it. Normally I look back and I watch the matches up team times back on different commentaries and stuff, but I just couldn't. I couldn't in this one, and it's just a mad period, a mad 15 minutes. 2 goals, 2 long balls, 2 goals that I thought should have been ruled out. We were quite in line, and I was like, I couldn't understand. At the time I was like, surely that's going to be looked at, or it's going to be chalked off or whatever, but no, absolutely fine. 2 perfectly legitimate goals, and the defence, which has been the absolute bedrock, the bread and butter of this season, this fantastic season. For 15 minutes it just literally switched off. It was like watching Titus Bramble and Jean-Alain Boumsong together. It was of that level. They were looking for balls behind Dan Burn, trying to exploit the space in behind him, and we just gifted them. Absolute, just give them 2. Might as well gift tied it up. Christmas has been and gone, but there was a very much a late fucking Christmas box or something. And they didn't have to break sweat. 2 goals, and then from there the substitutions occurred, of course, when Nick Pope gave another present away. A moment of absolute madness. I think it was a goalkeeper's instinctive reactions coming into play there, but the weather wasn't fantastic. It was raining, there was a wind, there was a swirl inside St James's Park. He misjudged the flight of the ball, he went for a header, trying to fucking mop up at the back because we were all over the fucking place. Got it completely wrong. A red card, and you go down to 10 men. You're 2-0 down at home, and you've got the majority of the match still to play, and you're fearing the worst at this point. And I've been there during previous managers, and for a fact we'd have been pub 6 or 7 easy. And you're thinking, who else is going to get sent off? You're looking at Joe Linton, you're worrying about everybody. You're gutted for Nick Pope because you know he's going to miss the final. He's going to miss one game, that one game being the game. But when the defence is all over and as fucking wonky as what it was, that is why he's had to come out. And it was just a fucking calamity. The Benny Hill music on top, and it would have been fucking complete. It really would have. I just couldn't believe, after everything, all of the fantastic positive stuff that we'd seen this season, what I was watching. And this is why I talk about a range of emotions, because I wanted to get behind the lads. I wanted to send them off in a wave of positivity, ready for the cup final. I wanted to pay my respects to Christian Atsu and his family, as well as Bobby Robson, in the memory of Bobby Robson, who's somebody who very important, somebody I've always looked up to and admired and held in very, very high esteem. So it was, there was a lot of different emotions going through it, and I was just stood there absolutely gobsmacked. But he sent off. Perhaps he could have had a yellow card. There was players around there covering, but there's no point trying to look into getting the red card rescinded, because they will not change the referee's decision. He'll get an extra match or something like that. So we have to take it on the chin. In comes Karius, but I'll get to that one a little bit later in the video. As the game goes on, and say Elliot Anderson went off, and I said to Carl before the game, I did not think for a second that it should have been him starting that game. He had to go off. He was the obvious choice. We were getting absolutely fucked over in midfield anywhere, and boy have we fucking missed Bruno, that Bruno shaped hole I talked about before. But yeah, Elliot Anderson was the one to go off. He's done nothing for me. He's a player that I think obviously very highly of. I think he has an exciting future, but he's a player who needs a fucking loan badly. I saw him down to Sheffield Wednesday and he was shocking. So when I saw him down on the team sheet, Carl was quite pleased. He was like, no, it could work. Not for me, not against the calibre of opposition you're going up against. You play your senior, you play your best players, you play... you've got an Evertonian sitting there who hates Liverpool. So a little bit of added edge, a little bit of added needle. He's not going to be playing in the cup final because he's obviously cup tied. So I'd have got him straight away in there. I'd have either played Anthony Gordon in the middle, or I'd have played him out wide and have brought Miggy inside, is what I would have done. You could have had the option as well of, perhaps, I suppose, to bring St. Maximum a little bit more central and again playing Gordon out there. But I think it's asking too much of Elliot Anderson to come in cold and produce the sort of performance that we needed to. Making his debut in the league, it was all too much. And that's how it proves. I honestly, I think, you know, the team got that wrong. They got the selection wrong. They threw him in. When he came off, Dubravka came on, I thought we actually looked a lot better. We looked a lot more menacing going forward. We created chances despite the fact that we were one down. Liverpool, to be fair, didn't have to get out of second or third gear because they knew that the game was won. It was done and sorted. But we did stroke the woodwork a few times. We did hit that post and crossbar. We came close. St. Maximin, I thought was great. You know, Anthony Gordon did come on, set up a great chance for Callum Wilson, who came on as a substitute as well. I thought Callum Wilson should have done better, and again, you can tell he hasn't had the training. Without the training, his performance, as has been the case probably since the World Cup, barring probably one game, it didn't look like the Callum Wilson of normal. But again, he'll have benefited from the time on the pitch, and hopefully he gets a good week's worth of training in before this Wembley final. Yeah, and the rain poured down and the fans continued to sing for Christian Atsu, some Bobby Robson chants in there. But I was just gutted. I just think it was a missed opportunity. This, you know, you can say it's Liverpool and you've got to take it on the chin. This is not the greatest Liverpool side. Yes, they beat Everton, but Everton is shit. Everton are absolutely shit. So, you know, I think we got what we deserved. This has been coming. You know, we talked about Newcastle recently and getting draws and sort of paper over the cracks. We haven't been playing very well, so we've got to hope, we've got to believe that it is just the fact that there's a cup final on the horizon and it is a distraction for the players, and it is a bit after the Lord's Mayor show. It's a massive week. We've got players coming back, so that's a positive, and I'm trying pump up with some positives towards the end of this video. Matt Targett, he played for the reserves, scored and had an assist for the reserves against Brentford yesterday. He is going to be in the squad, no doubt about it, going down to Wembley for me. Manquillo was back on the bench, so it's good to see Manquillo pushing back around the squad as well. Bruno's back. That was the last game of his suspension. Thank fuck for that. I think Joe Linton looks different gravy when Bruno's playing, and Joe Willock as well. Fingers crossed. The expectation is that he'll join back in with training this week and he'll be available also, so we should have everybody back in the middle. I think we've lost a lot of the spark and energy from that midfield, so getting Bruno back, getting Joe Willock back, everything else taken into consideration, how Joe Linton plays when Bruno's there, it's a major shot in the arm. So you know, that is a massive positive. Get them back, and I think the offensive machine starts to look a lot better. I hope we are working on a plan B for over the week, because I think a lot of the issues as well that we're facing is that teams have figured us out. They've found a way to work against us and to counter the Newcastle offensive machine. So that needs to be looked at and worked upon. But yeah, great also to have other players back like Matt Target. The defence needs a little bit of a shake. It needs a little bit of a rejig, because that wasn't the Newcastle United defence that we've seen all this season, no doubt about it. But I'm hoping that when it comes to the big game, the big occasion, the chance of history, the chance to immortalise yourself, that sorts itself out. And if we get the midfield right and we get the base right, Manchester United have got some difficult games coming up, and that they've got to play over the week. You just never know. You'd back Callum Wilson to come back firing. Isak, again, he's had a long time out. A long time with no training. It's going to take him time to get back up to speed, like it did with Alan St-Maximin. So in the meantime, we've got to ride that with him and ride it out. And I think Isak will be back on the bench. I think Callum Wilson starts at Wembley, to be honest. I really do. And then in goal, that's the other big question mark. Of course, it's typical Newcastle. There's always some sort of drama, some sort of subplot, some sort of story or something going off when it involves our football club. And Dubravka goes out on loan, doesn't play hardly at all against our opposition at the weekend. But it's cup tied, so we can't really rely on Martin Dubravka. Nick Pope, there's no point even talking to their fair. They're going to do nobody any favours. It's just going to make it more difficult. It's going to miss more games. So we're going to be missing Nick Pope, missing Dubravka. We've loaned out Darlow. Darlow's sitting on the fucking bench down at Hull, of all places. So again, there's no point trying to get him back. So Loris Karius comes in. Now, I've seen a lot of hoo-ha and a lot of ridiculous stuff actually put about him. He is a more than adequate goalkeeper. It is a lot to ask for him to come in and perform at the levels that are required with little to no action in 2 years. However, all this brandishing him and tarnishing him for this Champions League final performance, he wasn't great in that game. However, he played that game with fucking concussion. He was twatted off, I think, a corner it was, by Ramos, and he played the rest of the game with concussion. So, if you take that into consideration and take into the fact that he's a keeper who's been in a Champions League final, how many keepers can actually say they have been in a Champions League final? He has been there. He has experienced that. He was good enough to be in a Champions League final team. He's now our fourth choice goalkeeper. So, he's going to want to redeem himself. He's going to want to earn himself a new deal. His deal's up at the end of the season. Whether it's at Newcastle, whether it's elsewhere, he's going to want to earn that opportunity. And he's going to put things right. He doesn't want that to be the lasting thoughts that people have about him. This is him. This is what he does. This is what he did. This is what he's known for. And what an opportunity to come in and to get your hands on silverware. The only time he has played for Newcastle, of course, was in Saudi in the final of that competition that we had over there, that bit of a tournament. So, funnily enough, the only appearance that he's had for Newcastle United, we actually picked up a trophy at the end of it. So let's hope that's a good sign. But I just think the disrespect that's being shown towards him is not warranted. He is a Champions League level goalkeeper. We're lucky to have such a quality keeper as our fourth choice. There's no way that Gillespie gets in. None. So anybody who's trying to kid you that that's a realistic possibility, nah, not buying it. Not buying it one little bit. It will be Loris Karius. He will come in. He will have a point to prove. He does have a future that he's looking to win. He does want to remind people about what a competent, good goalkeeper he can be. Even in the game that he played for us, he had some good saves. Eddie Howe spoken about how he's got no problems with starting him. He's done fantastically well in training. So he gets his opportunity, and what a way to be able to write yourself into Geordie folklore. You know what I mean? And it's it can come up and he can write. I mean, imagine if he comes out to penalty kicks or something like that, and he saves one, and we go on and we win the cup. You know what I mean? And for anybody, and I've seen some criticism already of Nick Pope. That's bang out of order in my book. It was a stupid decision. He wouldn't have made it 99 times out of 100, but whether it's the weather, whether it's the fact that the defence was absolutely awful and all over the place, he's gone down. It's been a reflex thing, and he will not need to be reminded about it. But I will remind folk myself, if it wasn't for him in penalty shootouts earlier in the competition, we wouldn't fucking be here at the end of the day. We wouldn't be here. So he has performed heroics for us time and time and time again. He has kept us in games both in the league and in the cup, and he's helped us win penalty shootouts. So for me, 1000% behind Nick Pope, and he will definitely learn from it. He will be at Wembley, and he will be desperate for the lads to put to put things good, to put things right, to get the cup, and he'll be part of the celebrations and stuff, no doubt about it. And if he is, he has deserved it. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So yeah, moment of madness. It was stupidity. I was like, when it happened, I was like, you've got to be fucking joking me, because again, before the match, I was banging on, I don't want any injuries and no fucking to get sent off. And what happens? We have somebody sent off in the most ridiculous of circumstances. Salah, the little bastard, with his thumbs up and stuff like that. But it's what you expect of him. I think he is a bit of a twat, to be honest. There's no doubt he's a talented football player, but he's also a twat. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I can't say that Liverpool didn't deserve it. They did deserve it. They deserved the points because they were switched on at the right moments. And we gift wrapped it for them. I think with 11 men, I think with the right players on the pitch at the right time, and I think without the defence just going fucking AWOL and mental for 15 minutes, I think it's a different story. And there was things that after we went down to 2-0 and some of the attacking play and the passing and the little movements and stuff like that I was really pleased with. I thought Anthony Gordon's little ball into Callum Wilson was absolutely fantastic. St. Maximin, his running, his intensity, his speed, his purpose, his work ethic was absolutely fantastic. So there is positives to be able to strip away from it. You wish that you could take out that just fucking mad quarter of an hour and it could have been a different game, you know, and if we could have got a draw out of it, it would have been positive. It is just a little bit of a sort of annoyance that we're going into the most important week of the club's recent history on a negative. We started off on a negative, but no doubt Eddie will be pumping as much positivity into the dressing room as possible. He will be seeing players coming back, your Targets of the world, the Brunos of the world. He will be seeing Callum Wilson being back fit. He will take all those positives and he'll be reminding them about the resilience that the team has showed all season now, and how we have repeatedly proved every fucker else wrong. And we can do it again, there's no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I am positive. I believe that we can and we will do it. I believe that they've got two very, very tough games before they take on us, including a game on Thursday. Their preparation time is literally next to nothing. Their recuperation time is next to nothing. If they get injuries at all, they've not got much time to be able to get those injured players back fit and available. So hopefully everything else, war flags will be down there, the display will be absolutely epic, the noise from the Newcastle United faithful will be absolutely off the charts, and I just think that with everything taken into consideration, we can go there, we can bloody their nose, and we can bring this cup home, and we can make history. We can make history this weekend. Nobody will give us any sort of chance. All the media will be fucking lording it over Manchester United, as is the case all of the time, the bias and stuff like that. And my last thing is, I just hope that we get a decent referee, because again, I thought the referee against against Liverpool was absolutely fucking shite. I'll put it like that. Fucking diabolical. Everything, and I mean every fucking thing. I mean, even when it was the Pope thing, I was like, it's a red card straight away because it's just in keeping with this referee. It was an absolute and utter cunt. Thick as a fucking dictionary. Not even trying to hide, is it's just the agenda of certain referees. It's absolutely ridiculous. We were given nothing, and then when we got like a free kick once in the first half, the cheers for just a fucking free kick, it was like, you know exactly what you're doing, you little salty bastard. Obviously, it was at Lee Mason, wasn't it? I think it was the referee who ended up falling on his sword recently. There's a whole lot more who really, really should. The standard of refereeing, I'm not saying it's the reason that we lost this game for, it's not saltiness. This is over the entire season. Over the entire season, the referees continue to get worse and worse and fucking worse. Seriously, the best part of some of these lads dribble down the fucking mother's arse cracks. It is that bad. Another tosser. So I just hope we get a decent referee for once. It would be nice to go to a match and not have to think about the referee. Just think they're going to referee the game impartially, and we're going to get a fair crack of the whip. But no, we have to do it in spite of the fucking referees, in spite of the fucking linesmen, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we'll be back later on in the week with a full preview ready for this weekend. There will be shitloads of content coming on the day. We will be trying to record as much of the experience as possible. Myself and Kyle are down there, so we'll be trying to record and document every aspect that's outside the ground, the fan zones, Wembley Way, the journey down, inside the stadium, the atmosphere, the songs, and hopefully watching us lift that fucking cup and taking decades of hurt and pain and torture away from us as we go into a successful, bright new future. Just got to get behind the lads 1000% and just give them all of that emotion to feed off, that energy to go off. So good at that we just didn't do a little bit more in the January transfer window, and I hope that things just aren't crumbling away with fatigue and an inability to still press in the same way like we did before. I just hope that the transfer shortcomings don't come to bite us in the arse. I really do. But fingers crossed. Such a massive week. We've got to just get that what's happened yesterday out of the system, and move forward. So yeah, we'll be back. Loads of content this week. We've got some big Magpie 24/7 news which I hope to be able to announce around the cup final weekend and stuff as well. Thank you for your continued support. It means an absolute heck of a lot, even to the point where when you don't feel like talking about what was a very, very painful day all in all yesterday, the result, and before the match as well. It just pushes you to continue on and to keep going and stuff like that. So yeah, not a great day, but hey, gonna win the League Cup in a week from today. This time next week, won't be in the fucking van inside Wembley Stadium. Come on, the lads. How are the lads? Oh, fucking hell. I feel like it's been a little bit of therapy doing this as well, so I shall get back to graft, get back to work. Got a few things I need to sort out beforehand. We'll get this up onto Magpie 24/7. And yeah, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.